Let's be honest when it comes to sex. Most people crave passion, adventure, and intensity. But so many couples hold back, afraid to express what they truly desire. Today, I want to talk about something that's not just about sex, it's about freedom. Freedom from shame, freedom from silence. Because the truth is, rough sex, when done with trust, respect, and consent, isn't about domination, it's about deep connection. In this talk, I'll share 5 powerful moves men secretly crave, not just for physical pleasure, but for emotional release, for feeling wanted, and for reigniting the fire that routine often dims. This isn't just a talk about sex, it's about confidence, communication, and courage. So, let's dive into the truth we rarely say out loud, but everyone wants to hear. Confidence and communication are often spoken about in broad terms when discussing relationships and attraction, yet their true power is rarely fully understood or appreciated. At the core of human connection lies the ability to express oneself authentically, to convey desires, emotions, and intentions with clarity, and to respond to the same in others. When it comes to intimacy, these qualities take on an entirely new dimension. Confidence in this context does not simply mean being assertive or dominant in a superficial sense. It encompasses self-assurance, emotional presence, and the ability to navigate vulnerability without fear. It is the kind of confidence that makes someone magnetic, not because they are perfect or infallible, but because they are grounded, self-aware, and comfortable in their own skin. This form of confidence is deeply attractive because it signals to a partner that the individual is capable of emotional and physical reciprocity, that they can hold their own desires while respecting those of the other person. Communication, when paired with confidence, transforms ordinary encounters into profoundly meaningful experiences. 2. Communicate effectively in intimate settings is not simply to speak, but to listen actively, observe nonverbal cues, and respond with empathy. It is the skill of expressing one's desires without coercion, of articulating boundaries without hesitation, and of creating an environment in which both partners feel safe, valued, and desired. When a person speaks confidently about what they want, it does not just clarify expectations. It creates anticipation, excitement, and a sense of trust. In a world where many relationships suffer from misunderstanding, uncertainty, or fear of judgment, clear communication becomes not just a skill, but a rare and highly attractive quality. The combination of self-assurance and articulate expression is magnetic because it conveys that a person is not only comfortable with themselves, but also attentive to the needs and experiences of those around them, creating a dynamic where desire is mutual, open, and alive. Confidence is often misunderstood as being loud, aggressive, or overbearing. True confidence, especially in intimate settings, is subtler. It manifests in the ease with which a person navigates their desires and emotions, the way they carry themselves, and the quiet authority in their presence. People are drawn to those who move through life with a sense of certainty tempered by humility, who make decisions decisively but without arrogance, and who are willing to explore vulnerability without fear of judgment. In the realm of attraction, this translates into a profound sense of security. A partner feels safe in the presence of someone confident because there is a tangible sense of reliability, stability, and emotional competence. Moreover, confidence allows an individual to remain composed in moments of tension, excitement, or uncertainty, demonstrating an ability to balance passion with control, desire with respect. It is this equilibrium that can make interactions more intimate, thrilling, and deeply satisfying. Communication is equally multifaceted. Beyond the spoken word, it encompasses tone, body language, eye contact, and subtle gestures, all of which convey volumes about interest, consent, and engagement. A confident communicator recognizes that intimacy is not a performance but a dialogue. They are attuned to the cues that signal comfort or discomfort, arousal or hesitation, excitement or uncertainty. By communicating clearly and responsively, they create a space in which experimentation and exploration are welcomed rather than feared. In intimate relationships, this skill elevates experiences because it removes ambiguity, reduces anxiety, and allows both partners to engage fully without hesitation. For example, a partner who can express their desires confidently while remaining sensitive to the other person's reactions fosters a dynamic of trust that intensifies connection and heightens attraction. Similarly, the ability to communicate boundaries with clarity and confidence demonstrates self-respect and respect for the other, creating a sense of safety that allows for deeper emotional and physical intimacy. The interplay between confidence and communication also extends beyond immediate encounters to influence long-term relationship dynamics. Partners who communicate openly and confidently about their desires, needs, and boundaries are more likely to develop a relationship characterized by mutual satisfaction, understanding, and growth. This is because confidence empowers individuals to express their needs without fear of rejection, while effective communication ensures that those needs are acknowledged, negotiated, and honored. The result is a partnership in which both people feel seen, heard, and appreciated, enhancing both emotional closeness and sexual fulfillment. Moreover, the presence of confidence and clear communication fosters resilience in relationships, allowing couples to navigate disagreements, misunderstandings, or changes in desire with maturity and empathy, rather than defensiveness or withdrawal. On a psychological level, confidence and communication trigger a powerful response in human attraction. Neuroscientific studies suggest that individuals who exhibit self-assured behavior activate circuits in the brain associated with reward and trust. Confidence signals competence and capability, which are traits historically associated with reliability and security in mate selection. Simultaneously, clear communication signals emotional intelligence and empathy, qualities that enhance relational satisfaction and intimacy. Together, these traits create a potent combination that appeals both to the instinctive and cognitive dimensions of attraction. In intimate settings, this combination translates into an ability to convey desire, receive it, and respond in ways that are mutually satisfying, creating an experience that is not only physically pleasurable but emotionally resonant. Confidence in intimacy also involves embracing vulnerability. Paradoxically, the most confident individuals are often those willing to reveal their uncertainties, admit mistakes, and express authentic emotion. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is an indication of self-awareness and courage. When someone communicates openly about their desires, fantasies, or boundaries, they invite their partner to do the same. This mutual vulnerability enhances trust and deepens connection, creating a cycle in which confidence and communication reinforce one another. The act of expressing needs with honesty and conviction, while simultaneously remaining receptive to a partner's feedback, transforms intimacy from a transactional encounter into a collaborative, deeply personal exchange. It is in this space of shared openness that attraction intensifies, emotional bonds strengthen, and experiences become unforgettable. Practical application of confidence and communication requires intentionality. It starts with self-reflection, understanding one's own desires, boundaries, and emotional patterns. Confidence grows from self-knowledge, practice, and the willingness to engage authentically without pretense. Similarly, effective communication is a skill honed over time, involving active listening, observation, and responsiveness. Couples who invest in developing these abilities often report higher satisfaction in their relationships because they are better equipped to navigate both the ordinary and extraordinary moments of intimacy. Simple practices such as verbalizing desires clearly, asking questions with curiosity rather than assumption, and providing feedback with empathy can profoundly enhance the quality of connection. Moreover, these skills extend beyond the bedroom, influencing how partners negotiate conflict, celebrate successes, and support one another's growth, creating a holistic dynamic of mutual respect and attraction. In addition, confidence and communication empower individuals to explore new dimensions of intimacy safely. They enable partners to discuss fantasies, negotiate boundaries, and experiment with novel experiences while maintaining mutual respect and consent. This empowerment is not just about novelty for its own sake. It is about cultivating an environment in which passion and curiosity can flourish without fear of judgment. Confidence reassures each partner that expressing desire is acceptable and valuable, while communication ensures that those desires are understood, respected, and integrated into shared experiences. The synergy of these qualities transforms intimacy into a collaborative journey of discovery, in which both partners feel empowered to express themselves fully and authentically. Cultural norms often obscure the importance of confidence and communication in intimate relationships. Many people grow up internalizing messages that shy away from explicit discussion of desires or that equate assertiveness with aggression. Overcoming these barriers requires courage and a willingness to challenge preconceived notions about what is acceptable to express in intimate settings. Confident communication is not about dominance or control. It is about articulating needs while honoring those of the other person. It is about embracing curiosity, playfulness, and mutual exploration. By prioritizing these skills, individuals can create connections that are not only more satisfying, but also more resilient, adaptive, and emotionally rich. Furthermore, the impact of confidence in communication is magnified when considered in the context of sexual attraction. Physical attraction alone is fleeting if not accompanied by emotional and psychological resonance. Confidence signals that a person values themselves and is comfortable inhabiting their own presence, which in turn signals security, competence, and emotional stability to a partner. Communication transforms that attraction into a shared experience, allowing both partners to participate fully, express themselves without fear, and navigate boundaries with clarity. This interplay fosters a heightened sense of intimacy, amplifying desire, trust, and emotional connection simultaneously. In essence, confidence and communication elevate physical experiences into multidimensional encounters, where every touch, gaze, and word carries meaning, intention, and resonance. Another crucial aspect is that confidence and communication reduce anxiety and insecurity, both of which are common barriers to fulfilling intimacy. When individuals approach intimate encounters with a grounded sense of self and the ability to express themselves clearly, they minimize misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and hesitation. Anxiety often stems from uncertainty about a partner's desires, reactions, or approval. Confident communication preempts this uncertainty by establishing clarity and mutual understanding. It creates a feedback loop in which partners can negotiate experiences openly, reinforce consent, and celebrate mutual satisfaction. This dynamic is not only reassuring but deeply arousing, as it replaces fear with anticipation, doubt with clarity, and hesitation with engagement. The ripple effects of confidence and communication extend beyond immediate intimacy. They influence self-esteem, personal growth, and relationship satisfaction across multiple domains of life. Individuals who cultivate these traits often experience greater success in navigating conflicts, achieving goals, and maintaining healthy social connections. In relationships, they foster a culture of openness, curiosity, and respect, creating a foundation for long-term fulfillment. Moreover, the skills associated with confident communication, active listening, empathy, assertiveness, and emotional awareness enhance all forms of connection, from friendships to professional collaborations, demonstrating their universal value and transformative potential. At a deeper level, confidence and communication are expressions of authenticity. They allow individuals to show up fully as themselves, without masking desires, fears, or vulnerabilities. Authenticity is inherently attractive because it signals integrity, emotional intelligence, and self-respect. When a person communicates confidently, they are not performing to meet external expectations. They are expressing what is real, immediate, and meaningful to them. This authenticity invites reciprocation, encouraging partners to reveal their own truths, experiment without shame, and engage in experiences that are mutually satisfying and transformative. In this sense, confidence and communication are not just skills. They are a philosophy of connection that elevates intimacy into a shared journey of exploration, understanding, and pleasure. Consent and trust form the foundation of every meaningful human connection, and their importance cannot be overstated, particularly in intimate relationships. These two concepts, while often spoken about in clinical or legal terms, are far more than formalities. They are the very mechanisms that transform ordinary interactions into profoundly satisfying and deeply resonant experiences. Consent is often understood narrowly as a verbal agreement to participate in a particular activity, but in truth, it encompasses much more than a simple yes or no. It is a dynamic, ongoing process of mutual recognition, understanding, and respect. Trust, on the other hand, is the emotional currency that allows consent to be genuine and effective. Without trust, consent becomes hollow, fragile, or coerced, and experiences that could have been exhilarating or deeply connective instead become fraught with tension, uncertainty, or discomfort. When these two elements operate in tandem, they amplify every experience, whether physical, emotional, or psychological, by creating a space in which all participants feel safe, valued, and empowered to express themselves fully. At its core, consent is a manifestation of respect. To seek and obtain consent is to acknowledge the autonomy, boundaries, and desires of another person. It signals that one recognizes the other as a whole, complex human being whose preferences and feelings are worthy of consideration. This acknowledgement, when offered genuinely, fosters trust almost immediately. A person who consistently seeks and respects consent communicates that they are reliable, empathetic, and attentive, qualities that are universally attractive and inherently reassuring. The act of asking, clarifying, and checking in, rather than assuming or coercing, demonstrates a profound level of care and emotional intelligence. In turn, the presence of trust makes consent effortless and authentic, because both parties feel secure in expressing their desires, fears, or boundaries without fear of judgment or retaliation. The combination of these two elements creates a feedback loop in which the safety provided by trust allows consent to be freely given, and the clarity provided by consent reinforces trust, amplifying the quality of every shared experience. Consent is not static, it is dynamic and evolving, reflecting the complexities of human desire and interaction. In intimate contexts, it requires continuous attention and communication. What might feel comfortable or exciting at one moment may shift in the next, and recognizing these shifts is crucial. The person who practices active consent demonstrates attentiveness and responsiveness, not just to verbal cues but to nonverbal signals such as body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. This level of attentiveness deepens connection and intimacy because it communicates a commitment to the well-being and satisfaction of both parties. Trust is what allows this attentiveness to be interpreted accurately. When a partner trusts that their boundaries will be respected and that their comfort is prioritized, they are free to explore, experiment, and express themselves without hesitation. This dynamic fosters a heightened level of presence and engagement, transforming physical encounters into fully immersive and emotionally rich experiences. Trust itself is multifaceted and requires consistent demonstration over time. It is built through reliability, transparency, vulnerability, and honesty. A partner who shows up consistently, keeps commitments, respects boundaries, and communicates openly, cultivates trust naturally. Trust is not simply a passive state of belief. It is an active practice, a daily investment in the relationship that signals stability and emotional safety. In intimate settings, trust allows individuals to relinquish fear and inhibition, enabling them to fully experience pleasure, connection, and emotional resonance. Without trust, even the most physically pleasurable encounters can feel hollow, anxiety-ridden, or unfulfilling, because one partner may question the intentions or integrity of the other. Conversely, trust transforms interactions, creating an environment in which vulnerability is not only accepted but celebrated, where desires can be expressed openly, and where mutual exploration becomes a shared adventure rather than a precarious negotiation. The relationship between consent and trust is reciprocal and synergistic. Consent establishes the boundaries and parameters of engagement, while trust ensures that those boundaries are honored with integrity and respect. When consent is freely given within a framework of trust, it empowers individuals to participate fully, knowing that their autonomy is protected. This empowerment enhances every dimension of the experience. Emotional connection deepens because participants feel recognized and valued. Physical sensations are heightened because fear and hesitation are replaced with confidence and openness. Psychological engagement intensifies because the mind is free to focus on pleasure, curiosity, and connection rather than uncertainty or anxiety. The presence of both consent and trust transforms interactions from mere actions into meaningful exchanges that resonate on multiple levels, creating experiences that are memorable, fulfilling, and transformative. Consent also fosters creativity, exploration, and authenticity. When individuals know that their boundaries will be respected, they are free to express desires, fantasies, and preferences without self-censorship. This freedom nurtures curiosity and experimentation, allowing encounters to evolve organically and dynamically. Trust ensures that this exploration remains safe and mutually satisfying, providing a cushion of security against miscommunication, misinterpretation, or unintended harm. In this way, consent and trust work together to create a playground for authentic expression, where participants can discover new aspects of themselves and each other in an environment of mutual respect and care. The interplay of these elements generates a level of intensity and connection that cannot be replicated in interactions lacking either component, highlighting the profound importance of both consent and trust in any meaningful experience. Furthermore, consent and trust are foundational to long-term relationship satisfaction. Couples who cultivate these principles tend to navigate conflicts, misunderstandings, and changing desires with greater ease and resilience. When consent is actively practiced, both partners feel empowered to articulate their needs and boundaries clearly, reducing ambiguity and potential resentment. When trust is nurtured, these articulations are received with openness and empathy, allowing for negotiation, compromise, and collaboration rather than conflict or withdrawal. This dynamic not only strengthens the immediate connection but also builds a durable relational infrastructure, enhancing satisfaction, intimacy, and emotional security over time. In essence, consent and trust do not merely amplify individual encounters, they amplify the overall quality, depth, and sustainability of the relationship itself. Psychologically, the presence of trust and consent reduces anxiety and enhances arousal. When individuals feel secure that their boundaries will be respected and that their partner is acting with integrity and care, their minds and bodies can fully engage in the present moment. Fear, doubt, and hesitation are replaced with curiosity, anticipation, and immersion, allowing sensations, emotions, and connections to be experienced with greater intensity. Trust provides a stable platform from which individuals can explore the full range of their desires, confident that their autonomy is protected and that their partner's intentions are genuine. Consent provides the roadmap for this exploration, clearly defining what is welcome and what is not, creating a structure in which freedom and safety coexist harmoniously. The combination of these elements produces a state of flow in which experiences feel heightened, immersive, and deeply satisfying. In addition, consent and trust promote mutual respect and reciprocity. When one partner consistently demonstrates respect for the other's boundaries and autonomy, it naturally encourages reciprocation, creating a balanced dynamic of care, attention, and responsiveness. Trust ensures that this reciprocity is authentic and sustainable, not motivated by obligation or fear. This mutual reinforcement strengthens the emotional bond between partners and enhances the quality of shared experiences. Each interaction becomes a collaborative effort in which both parties contribute to the emotional and physical fulfillment of the other, fostering a sense of partnership and alignment that amplifies connection, pleasure, and satisfaction. The presence of these principles transforms encounters into shared journeys of discovery, where each individual feels seen, heard, and valued. Cultural and societal factors also influence the perception and practice of consent and trust. Many people grow up in environments that undervalue explicit communication about boundaries, desires, and safety, leading to misunderstandings, assumptions, and unspoken expectations. Overcoming these cultural barriers requires intentionality, self-awareness, and courage. Practicing consent and building trust involves challenging ingrained patterns, embracing vulnerability, and committing to open, honest, and ongoing dialogue. By prioritizing these principles, individuals can create experiences that are not only physically satisfying, but emotionally and psychologically enriching, demonstrating that the amplification provided by consent and trust is multidimensional and transformative. The amplification of experiences through consent and trust is not limited to sexual encounters. It extends to emotional, social, and professional interactions as well. In every context, individuals who practice active consent and cultivate trust are better equipped to navigate complexities, manage conflict, and foster collaboration. In emotional exchanges, consent ensures that vulnerability is met with respect, while trust allows individuals to engage fully without fear of exploitation or betrayal. Socially, these principles enable authentic connection, empathy, and cooperation. Professionally, they establish integrity, reliability, and credibility. The universality of consent and trust underscores their fundamental role in amplifying human experience, highlighting that the principles guiding intimate relationships are equally applicable to broader spheres of life. Consent and trust also intersect with the concept of empowerment. By asserting one's boundaries and respecting the boundaries of others, individuals reclaim agency over their bodies, emotions, and choices. Trust reinforces this empowerment by providing a secure environment in which agency can be exercised without fear of repercussion or judgment. Together, these principles foster a sense of autonomy and confidence that enhances the quality of every interaction. Empowered individuals are more likely to communicate openly, explore desires freely, and engage authentically, creating a cycle in which consent, trust, and empowerment mutually reinforce one another. This cycle magnifies every experience, transforming interactions into opportunities for growth, pleasure, and meaningful connection. Finally, consent and trust create a fertile ground for emotional depth and psychological intimacy. By ensuring that boundaries are respected and that vulnerability is met with integrity, they allow individuals to connect at levels beyond the superficial. Emotional intimacy flourishes when individuals feel safe to express fears, hopes, and desires without risk, and trust ensures that these expressions are received with care, empathy, and understanding. Consent ensures that this sharing is mutually agreed upon and navigated responsibly, further enhancing the depth of connection. The synergy of these elements produces experiences that are not only more enjoyable in the moment, but also more memorable, transformative, and enriching over time, illustrating the profound impact of consent and trust on the human experience.